Clients always want to work with the best, non-negotiable. They always want to work with the best. So you got to position yourself in being the best. And one of the most powerful way is having a third party, a trusted, globally trusted organization endorsing you. For example, when I got featured on Forbes, my business just blew up. My email blew up. My messages blew up. People wanted to know how I got in. And then obviously the quality of people that I attracted are better, because those free polls, those freebies ain't going to come to me, because they knew I'm serious. They knew I'm going to fry them, because I'm like, no, this is serious work that I do. It's for serious female entrepreneurs who are committed in what they do.
I'm Junaid Ahmed, host of Hacks and Hobbies podcast and a digital presence advisor at HumbleZone. This episode is brought to you by Home Studio Mastery. I launched a consultation and course program to help podcasters and course creators to create a space in their homes that'll reduce the friction of creating content and appearing their best when showing up on camera. The pandemic gave us a lot of issues, but this one is here to stay. We're now so much closer to our audience thanks to video becoming more popular and affordable. I help guide folks who want to create Hollywood-worthy studios to not only capture great content, but also build more confidence, more authority, and be more comfortable in front of the camera. If I can do it, you can too. And with my help, you can do it faster. So if you'd like to learn more, visit homestudiomastery.com and how you too can create a home studio that brings out your personality, professionalism, and possibilities. Thank you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. We're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life. We want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around. Today we get to speak with Dr. Izdihar Jamil, Ph.D. She's a #1 international best-selling author of Moneymakers and a media expert. She's appeared on Forbes, Fox TV, and TED, discussing her mission to share women's voices without prejudice. She helps women be the #1 authority in their field with proven and effective methods. She lives in California with her husband and children. She loves baking and reading. So let's jump into this episode as I discover Dr. Izdihar Jamil and her origin story. Dr. Izdihar Jamil, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much, Junaid. And what a blessing it is. And hello, everyone. How are you? I hope that you're having an amazing day, and may peace be upon you. And I was so excited to come here. I literally, it took me, the moment you sent the link, it was like, okay, within minutes, I was like, click, okay, and done. I'm in, brother. I'm in.
Alhamdulillah, that's awesome. So what I love to, start off with is to learn a little bit about you, how you got started, what inspired you to take on this journey of teaching and of sharing your journey and teaching other people how to live better lives. So let's start with that, if you don't mind sharing a little bit more.
So I think it all started with my grandma, Mamin, who I remembered for so long. She's a stay-at-home housewife, but she loves nice things. Like, she loves nice furniture, she loves nice clothes, she loves nice everything. And she received an allowance from my grandpa every month, the same allowance. So if she wanted more, my grandpa said, you can either take the credit for next month and it will be deducted to your allowance, or you can figure something out. So Mamin was like, I'm going to figure something out. So from then, she had always used her own skill set to help others, whether it's baking, it's crafting, it's sewing, it's selling things. I've always remembered that about Mommy. And when I was younger, on her kitchen table, there's always stuff, whether it's clothes, whether it's hijab, whether it's jewelry, you name it, there's always stuff. And I'm like, Mommy, why do you have so many stuff on here? Because I want to sell it. To whom? My friends. Why? because I love money. And since then, like Momins has always, she pays for her own vacation, she pays for her own car, she pays for her own jewelry. So I've always seen that with her from a very young age, Brother Junite. And at first I didn't understand it's about entrepreneurship, right? But
Mm-hmm.
she's like, you know what? I'm gonna make it easy for my friends. I'm gonna get them the stuff, whatever stuff that is,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna sell it to them. And I remember there was a time when I went with mom into this fabric textile shop. Oh my God, there's so many fabric that it drives me insane. But mom
Yes.
is like, I want that color, that color, that color, the green, the blue, this pattern, this. And I remember carrying all the bags with her
Mm-hmm.
and then bring it to the car and she would lay it out on beautifully on the table and then she would choose the one that she loves the most for her and I said these are for my friends, I want them to have beautiful clothes, and she did. So that kind of planted the seed, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
consciously or unconsciously, about entrepreneurship, which is about making things easy for people and helping others. And since then, there's been many other journey from myself starting my own organic delivery business with my husband. We were in England. I was doing
Mm-hmm.
my PhD. I was 5 months pregnant, but we're like, we're gonna eat healthy. We're gonna go to the farm. We're gonna get those chickens and lambs and beef, and then we're gonna sell it to
Mm-hmm.
others so that we can help others because we want to eat healthy. And then the same with here. I was faced with many social adversity when I came here, so
Mm-hmm.
there was a point when I was at the lowest of the lowest. You wouldn't imagine people, like in my TED talk I shared, people would throw literally poop on my doorstep for my daughter to discover. My
Wow.
neighbors would call like the police on us because my daughter was crying. She was having a
Mm.
tantrum. So many other things. So my husband got me a course for me to be an online coaching consultant. So I used the skill set that I have with the delivery, and before that, so many other things I've dabbled into, and what mommy taught me into helping women. I just love helping women, and then here I am today helping women to share their voices on prestigious platforms around the world without prejudice.
Oh my God, that is a beautiful. The reason I love these origin stories is
Mm.
because you see the pattern. You see
Mm-hmm.
who influenced you. Because we
Yes.
are a product of the five people that are around us that we see growing up. No matter it be
Mm.
my child, myself, but then you do get influenced, and then you eventually become the person that you've seen. So that's why they say, even in our religion, make sure you choose a good company of people, because
Correct.
you're going to absorb everything that they're putting out.
Absolutely. And that's what mommy taught me. Like, I feel that she's the trendsetter, brother.
Hmm.
She's a trendsetter. She's a trailblazer in our family.
Yeah.
All my, majority of my family member, my mom and dad, they're highly professional. So,
Hmm.
in IT or accountant or all that, highly professional. But mommy is like, no, she's not highly educated because women at her and her generation don't
Hmm.
literally go to school much. But she figured it out on how she can have her dreams, on how she
Hmm.
can make money. And then it drives me so mad now, brother, when I see women who's
Yeah.
got the skills and capabilities, or man or woman who's got the skills and capabilities, but they're just like, I'm just having this, I haven't got this, I haven't got this, I haven't
Mm.
got this. And I'm just like mind blown by them. Hang on a minute. You don't need a lot
Yes.
to go for your dreams. You don't need a lot to make money. You don't need money to make money, but you need creativity. You need commitment. You need communication. You need persistence. You need
Yeah.
courage. That's what it takes to make money. It drives me insane, brother. And I'm like, oh my God, like I need you to meet Mamin. But Mamin passed away a few months ago.
Oh.
So I am her legacy. I am a product of a legend. So I'm like, okay, mom, and I'm gonna carry the tradition.
Oh my God. I absolutely love that. And you're absolutely right. We all have so much that we can offer to the world. And we have so many luxuries and blessings. I mean, carrying around $1,000 phone in our pockets, I
Mm.
mean, if that's not something to be grateful for,
Hmm.
then I don't know why.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or paying for like thousands of dollars worth of vacation is
Mm-hmm.
nothing. But then when you want to invest in something that can benefit you and your future times, then they're like, oh, so many challenges. And then they want to heckle you for lowering the price. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, hang on a minute. I'm giving you so much value here. You want me to lower my price to take down what I can give you to operate at the best of my capability? Like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously now and then we do like a sale, right, or
Yeah.
promotion, but I I understand culture as well, but I mean, come on, like it's like such a high value thing that you negotiating or coming up with excuses or
Yeah.
challenges that is doing a disservice for
Mm-hmm.
them.
No, you're absolutely right, and it reminds me of this video I saw. It's when people say, "Oh, your prices are so expensive."
Mm.
It's not that my prices are expensive; it's that you're too scared to admit that you're broke or you can't afford it. So come back when you can afford it, right?
Yes.
I'll be here, but you can come back when you can afford it. So that's really excellent point. And I love how you said, you're the legacy and the product of a legend.
Mm.
And that's how I think that's how all of us are, right? We all learn from our elders and we are literally standing on shoulders of giants because
Mhm.
they've given us so much value in raising us and being in our lives. It's just beautiful to be able to do what we love to do.
Absolutely. And I'm seeing it on my children as well, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it on my children, like my daughter Nadra, she was 6 then and she wanted a
Mm-hmm.
pony. She just loves ponies. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, darlings, you want a pony? No problem. You just got to make money for it because, they're thousands of dollars and they're
Right.
expensive. And,
Yeah.
and we got to, there's so much backyard in my California home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we got to
Yeah.
rent a barn. So, no problem. This is what you need to do. You want to make money. You want to make sure you do this, this, and this. And she's like, okay, mommy. And then she went away and she thought about it. And she's like, mommy, I want to write a book. Okay, why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to be a best-selling author and because I want to make money for my pony. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
darling, no problem. We'll write a book. So we wrote a book together. She created a story and she was 6 years old then. She
Mm-hmm.
couldn't even spell, she could, but not as not like
Accurately.
a fluent kind of. So she would
Uh-huh.
just, she figured out her storyline. We wrote it together. She drew some of the things. She loves drawing. She would draw her
Mm-hmm.
pony. She would
Mm-hmm.
gather her experiences, and she doesn't care about anything else. All she
Right.
cares about is having her book out because she's like, mommy's going to take care of it for me. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like it's a good thing. Then I was already publishing a few books by
Mm-hmm.
then, Women Who Lead or It Is Done or Yes, I Can. So I've got some experiences with it and have a
Mm-hmm.
team. And then I'm like, okay, we're going to do it. We published a book. And she's like, mommy, I want to be number one, okay? I don't want to be just a bestseller. I want to be number one. I'm like, okay, sweetheart. Okay, Nadra, we'll do it. So she hit number one. And then she's like, mommy, I don't want to just US. I want to be in another countries. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's take it to other countries. And we did. So, and now she's like, went on a book tour to promote her book with her friends. She was on Fox 11 TV, that where she's interviewed
Wow.
about a girl writing a book to save money for a pony. I mean, like, it's just so cute. Like, nobody
It
could
is.
resist that
Yeah,
story.
exactly.
Yeah. So I could see now that it's trickling into my children,
Mm-hmm.
my vision, my dream, how I work, what I needed to do. And they could see that as a pathway. Me before, I'd be like, no, it's too expensive. Don't even think about it. But now
Right.
I've kind of like, okay, no problem. You just need to make money. Like, I gave them an honest view of things. You can. This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
And she figured it out, and she's teaching classes to women, like to my lady. She would teach and she would say, "You just go for it. If people don't believe your dream, you go for it." And
Oh
she,
my
because
god.
my son was like, "Why are you doing it?" Like boys, right? And she's like, "Don't worry about your big brother. That's gonna put you down. You just gotta believe in yourself." You should see her, brother. She's like, now she's 8 and she
Yeah.
coaches my son who's 11, Abrar who's
Mm-hmm.
11, to write his book. Because now
Wow.
Abrar is seeing it and now
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "I want to write a book too because I want to buy a computer for my gaming." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, we can do
Yeah.
it." And Abrar is having his book out, Trapped in a Snow Globe, which is part of his school assignment that we
Uh-huh.
did together and we just expanded it. So I can see now how it trickles,
Yeah.
how as parents or as an elderly or an adult, when we're around certain people, how our behavior and our thoughts, our actions have an impact to people.
Yeah.
So we want to be really responsible on what we say and what we
Mm-hmm.
do, because we're always planting seeds and we want to be planting good seed or higher, something that is higher, something that is
Right. Yeah.
filled with um, goodness, so that we can help others, and so that God will be pleased with us.
Yes. Oh my god. That story about your daughter and then your son and then she like her teaching at age 8, right? That's brilliant. I mean, somebody asked me like, why do you do the podcast? I'm like, and why do you have so many hobbies? I mean, the reason the podcast
Mm.
is called Hacks and Hobbies is because I have hundreds of hobbies, or I've
Yes.
had them over time. And I'm like, because I want to show my children that everything is possible. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to put in the work. You just have to put in the time. You just have to see through to it that it is possible. And then I do all these things to show them that, hey, whatever you want to accomplish, you can do it if you just spend enough time with it. And then the rewards are monumentous on the end of it. So I love that philosophy. I love that you're
Yes.
teaching and create, oh my god. The growth mindset is very apparent in your children. That's beautiful, amazing, mashallah.
Thank you.
I was going to ask you what's the motivation behind all the things that you do, but it's very clear you want to it's very clear you want to make sure that everybody that wants something can literally go and get it, because
Mm.
all you got to do is ask. And the problem is we all have an inner critic all the time. The first person to tell us no, that's not possible is ourselves, not
Mm.
others.
Correct. And I remember very clearly when I was offered the opportunity to be on Forbes, which is
Hmm.
one of the most influential magazines. All the billionaires, president, trailblazers, thought
Yeah.
leaders are all on Forbes. And it's one of my biggest desire, brother. Like, I
Hmm.
really want to be on Forbes. When the opportunity comes knocking, "Hey, do you want to be on Forbes?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to be on Forbes. Forbes doesn't want people like me. Forbes want people like you. I'm too busy. I don't think I'm
Hmm.
good enough. I'm not sure what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've done enough." And then, like, one of my coaches, who's a multi seven figure business owner, she's like, "What are you talking about, women? You're a hot property." I'm a
Hmm.
hot property? Because I've never thought myself as that, but
Yeah.
clearly people see something in me. I'm
Mm.
like, and then that moment, I'm like, "I'm a hot property. I'm the prize." And then I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And then with her help and other people, because I've already done the fundamentals by then, brother. I've
Hmm.
already done a lot of fundamentals, whether it's in
Yeah.
media, whether it's in speaking or proven my expertise. I've already done all the fundamentals.
Hmm.
Within a few weeks, I had a full feature on Forbes talking about how to build a brand authority in a new niche. So sometimes it's just us that's
Yes.
stopping. Like, "Okay, you want this dreams, this here, an opportunity comes literally knocking."
Hmm.
It's just us in the way. So for those of you who are listening, I do hope that you bring it to the awareness that when opportunity comes, just say yes. what's the worst that could happen? You know, it's
Yeah.
like it was my biggest desire. I wanted it for so long. Every time I pray, every time I put my head on prostration,
Hmm.
like, God, please give me this, because I knew for my voice to be taken seriously as a
Hmm.
hijab wearing Muslim woman, I
Yeah.
needed to be featured on those places, so that, yes, it's about my business, obviously. It's about
Yes.
my business,
Yes.
about my work, but people also get to see, hang on a minute, being a Muslim woman, she can
Hmm.
also do that. What the media says about a Muslim woman is completely opposite, completely
Yes,
bogus. So
it
I
is.
needed my voice to be heard, or in whatever capacity that I can be, and that's why I always go for prestigious platform, because that's where I can make the biggest impact.
Yeah. My God, I love that. I mean, when I was talking to you and asking you to come on, I told my wife I'm going to be talking with Dr. Izdihar Jamil.
Yeah.
She's a hijab wearing woman, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." I'm like, "Yeah, she was on TED Talk. She's on Forbes, and so I'm sure she's looking forward to listening to the episode as well."
Oh, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. It
Alhamdulillah.
really is. And I couldn't, obviously, first and foremost, I do everything that I do for the sake of wanting Allah to be pleased with me, because I want to go
Yes.
to Jannah, Jannah to Firdaus, the highest of
Hmm.
heaven, straight away. I
Yes.
want to go to like the golden ticket, and, may Allah be pleased with me. And the
I mean,
second part is about my dreams, what I love, what I see, what I feel that I can do, or people tell me, I don't think you're famous enough, or I don't think you can
mhm.
do it. I'm like, I'm gonna go for it, and I
Yeah.
just go. And then the third one is always gonna be about my children, especially Nadra, because I can see a 7-year-old girl. I mean, she's 8. She just turned 8 now.
Mhm.
Like, growing up as a Muslim woman, her future, and I didn't like it, because it takes balls to
Oh,
wear a
yes.
hijab in America.
Yes.
So I that was one of the things that I shared on my TED talk, that the revolution to overcoming social adversity
Mhm.
isn't to blend, change, conform, or transform yourself to fit the preconceived notion of a society's
Mhm.
checklist, but rather to be proud and courageous of your roots and heritage. And more
Amen.
importantly, to be open and accepting of each other's differences. Because I want Nadra to grow up to be proud of who she is,
Yeah.
and living in a society that is open and accepting of each other's differences. You don't even have to like what we do, but at least
No.
be open and accepting, and go beyond the prejudice or the
Mhm.
preconceptions that we have
Yeah.
to ourselves. I've been to Whole Foods, Brother Junaid. When I first
Mhm.
got in America, I went to
Yeah.
Whole Foods. I wanted to get some dates. I think it was the month of Ramadan. I wanted to get some dates. So, Whole Foods, very posh, very upscale,
Yeah.
So I was wanted to get I'm wearing my hijab like I always do, and then another shopper, like middle-aged white guy, like that
Mhm.
high, says to me, "Are you a Muslim?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And then he says, "I've read the Quran, and it says that killing in the name of Islam is permissible. Are you gonna blow yourself up?" And I'm thinking, dude, do you even read Arabic? But I say, I'm doing my
Mhm.
groceries, right? I've got young
Yeah.
kids. I'm not going to blow myself up.
Yeah.
Then he says, if you're not a mom, are you going to blow yourself up? And I just can feel my whole body just shaking with
Yeah.
anxiety. No, my chest tightens. I just couldn't breathe. I had to leave. So I wanted Nadia to grow up, God willing, and may God protect her and all the children, not
Yeah.
having to go through what I had gone
Right.
through. So, may Allah accept our courage
Um,
and our good deeds, so that we're going to create a better future for our children.
that's right. And it's because of the tolerance and because of um, the open heart that you had, right?
Mm.
That you were able to just walk away. Like other people that haven't gone through that transformation would have blown up, like
Mm.
s- spoken back. But
Right.
because that doesn't change anything in other people's perspective, it doesn't. It just changes that you can easily be upset.
Mm.
So that was a beautiful, I mean, act of bravery. Walking away is a brave act of bravery. Bravery. Thank you for so much for sharing that story.
Thank you.
And oh, I'm having goosebumps right now because it's unfortunately a very real story. It's happened to not one, many people, and
Mhm.
it's changed. Like when the pandemic hit, there was
Mm.
people shouting at people from China to go back and take the virus back. I'm like, it's not their fault. Like they're American citizen, just like the rest of us. You can't blame a population
Mm.
for something that happened. It's just unfortunate that more people are not as learned.
Correct. And it's so unfortunate when that happens. The a part of the society, like a small percent of us, and even then, you and I wouldn't know what's going on over there, right? Because you and
Right.
I don't live in that situation.
Mm-mm.
You and I don't go through having can't sleep every night because you don't know if you're going to wake up or not the next day, having
Yeah.
guns pointed at you. I mean, you and I wouldn't know how to say it or how we would react in that situation. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that it's okay, but we just don't know when we're put in a pressure cooker,
Yeah.
like how we're gonna um, react. And that's why one of the things that uh, the idea that I shared for my TED talk is that rather than hiding, being scared, or
Mm-hmm.
doubting myself, and I decided I'm gonna put more of myself out there. So you see
Yes.
me like in more places, in
Yes.
here and there, in magazines or TV or interviews, and to share my voice. I know with like your platform, the seed can grow. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know 5 years time, 10 years time, 20 years time, 100 years time, and whoever needs to hear the message is gonna hear the message. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna hide anymore. Here we are. Here I am. Gonna put myself out there.
No, 100%. And we should definitely be out there. And yes, there will be haters,
Mm-hmm.
and there will be people that will come out in support of us and encourage us because they have the same heart that we do, right? We're
Mm.
all the same on the inside. Nobody thinks about it, but if we if you take away the layering, all human beings are, we're all the same race. So having tolerance and having an open mind is
Mm-hmm.
so important, and it's only possible if we are open about who we are and about our our goal or our passion around what we love to do, right?
Correct. Our heritage,
Our
our culture, our roots, which is really important. I'm the first generation here,
mm-hmm,
migrated to America. My
mm-hmm,
kids could be second, but I want them to remember their roots, their heritage. What is it about? Whether being a
right,
Malaysian or being a Muslim, or our roots,
yeah,
which is so important. And the culture that we have, the food that we have, there's beyond tacos, right? There's
yes.
way beyond tacos and burritos. Oh my God, that's the first food I had when I came to America, Brother
Uh-huh.
Junaid. And I'm like, what is this food? Like I had churros and tacos. I'm like, because Southeast Asian food
Yeah.
is, we have coconut milk, we have
Mm,
soup, we have so many different galangal and turmeric. So it's very rich, very fragrant. And I'm like, what
yeah.
is this? So there's more than just burgers and tacos and churros, which happens to be the first food I ate when I landed at LAX. But regardless, those are people's culture and roots as
Yeah,
well. So I'm accepting and embracing it as well.
absolutely. That reminds me of the first thing that I ate when I came to the US
Mm-hmm.
in 96, and there was a fish burger.
Is
And
it fish and chips or like the fish and
the
chips or
fish
fish
burger
burger?
from probably McDonald's or something. I can't
Oh, the
remember.
fillet thing.
The fillet, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, right. Fillet of fish or something.
Fillet of fish, exactly. That was 30 years ago. Um, but yeah, we respect and we are very proud
Mm,
to be in the US because this is literally the only country that respects all religion as a
mm,
country, as a government.
mhm.
Now, I was speaking with somebody, and they told me that the literacy rate of the US is actually 30%.
Mm,
30% of people in the US are not educated.
right.
I was like, holy,
That is
seriously,
that's a lot.
that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, especially with the technology access that we
Mm,
have. It's like, wow, like I couldn't even like comprehend. Like, is that 100 million people in the U.S.
right.
are not educated?
Yeah. That
So
is crazy.
it's crazy. It's a crazy number. Now
Oh
I
my
might have to
gosh.
go fact check. So,
Yeah.
uh, guys, if you got the right number, I'd love for you to reach out to me and let me know so then we can amend this episode and make sure that people know the correct
Yeah.
number.
But that is crazy, which reminds me when I was doing my PhD, I did an experiment with children in Finland. So India, Finland, and UK. So that
Hmm.
was my comparison for my PhD. I'm telling you, brother, the children in Finland who are 10, 11 years old, okay? 10, 11 years old. My first session of the experiment was at 9 o'clock in the morning. I just flew in like 4 o'clock in the morning. So,
Hmm.
by the time I get to the university and set things up, basically I was late.
Yeah.
The children came 15 minutes early
Wow.
and waited for me. And they were on their own. Like, that
Hmm.
we were at a convention, they were on their own, this children, Finnish children. And they were not happy with me, brother, because I was like
Because
outside
you were late. Yeah.
panicking, like setting
Hmm.
up my equipment. I was a computer scientist. I did studies on technology with the
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
Obviously, technology can be very finicky, right?
Hmm.
Setting, especially in the cold weather.
Yeah.
And they were not happy. But what they all were early, either early or on time.
Hmm.
No teacher chaperoned them. And the way they talk, the way they solve the problem is so spot on, which shows because Finland has one of the highest, one of the best education system in the world. They
Hmm.
have no exam, they have no, like America, well, other countries, wherever it is, but they have, they are more play based, they have no homework, but I just, when you mentioned that statistics, I think
Yeah.
this, if any educators that are listening to this, we probably want to explore the Finnish system
Yeah.
because they've got, those children are early on time, the way they think, the way they solve problems on a completely different level. And I know my children would love if there's no homework. They've been at school 6 hours, 7 hours. The last thing they want
Yeah.
to do is homework because they want to play, they want to chill, they want to play sports, they want to go to
Yeah.
places. So,
Yeah.
about that, I just like wanted something interesting to share because oh my god, this Finnish children just blew me away.
Wow. That is beautiful. I'm gonna have to do some more research on that part as well. Um, Dr. Izdihar, it's been so awesome talking with you, learning about your journey, your motivations. After the break, would you mind sharing 3 hacks to take away with the audience? And then um, I'll have some quick questions for you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So, stay tuned, everybody.
Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back. Hey, guys, if you've been listening, we are back. We've been speaking with Dr. Izdihar Jamil. She's an amazing human being. She's written multiple books. Her daughter is an author. She's a TED Talk speaker. She was on Forbes. She has done some really amazing things in just the past few years. I'm really honored to have her here in the green room. We were talking about all things family, all things
Mm.
motivation, all things about our children and why we do this. So, Sister Izdihar, thank you so much again for being here. We promised that we're going to share some hacks to take away so you guys can implement them in your business, in your entrepreneurship, in your coaching program, whatever it is that you're doing. So take it away, sister.
Thank you so much, brother. Yes, we've talking a lot of things, including giving birth, because brother Janai is gonna have
That's
another
right.
baby. So the things that we talked about. rich and profound. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give a really simple, quick tips. I'm a media and publicity expert. I have a team behind me. I have my little black book that have the best people in there, whether it's Forbes, whether it's TED. So I wanted to share like couple of tips because here's the thing that people don't understand. Media and publicity is so powerful. It's beyond having the badges, right? Like the badge for the Forbes or the badge of best-selling author or the badge of TED or TV. Obviously, one of the points is who would you kind rather choose? A self-proclaimed expert or someone who's a best-selling author or been featured on TV, magazines? Clients always want to work with the best,
Mm-hmm.
non-negotiable. They always want to work with the best. So you got to position yourself in being the best. And one of the most powerful way is having a third party, a trusted, globally trusted organization endorsing you. For example, when I got featured on Forbes, my business just blew up. My email blew up. My messages blew up. People wanted to know how I got in. And then obviously the quality of people that I attracted are better because those free polls, those freebies ain't going to come to me because they knew
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. They knew I'm going to fry them because I'm like, no, this is serious work that I do. Is for serious female entrepreneurs who are committed in what they do. So the first thing is your social media. That's one of my biggest tools that I use. Essentially, we all want to make money. We all want
Mm-hmm.
to get clients, right? Whichever way that we use. So your social media, consistently post something about your work or your success or your results consistently over and over and over and over and over again. So just imagine this is something that I shared in my book, Money Makers. Just imagine you have a front page on Forbes. Front page on Forbes. What is it that you're going to say?
Mm.
Obviously, not going to be something tacky, right? You're not going to put a picture of a flower on Forbes. So you got to be really intentional. And quick tip, the words, the simpler your words are, the less your words are, that's when you would have higher conversion because people
Mm.
haven't got time to read an essay. You're lucky if they read the first few lines. That would be
Yeah.
lucky for you because there's so many content overload. And I find that for me, the best ones when I write is that it's just a few words, literally a few words. And you can ask any copywriter. The biggest mission of any copywriter is making things simple that is connecting with people. So please, like if you do write something on social media, make it count.
Mm.
I like my post now is worth $1,000 every post. A
Wow.
thousand dollars every post. So
Oh
if
my
you think
God.
about it, if my post is worth $1,000, what am I gonna say?
Mm.
Like sometimes when I put a post out, like I only had like one people commenting on it. I'm like, oh, okay. But alhamdulillah for everything, thank God for everything. That one thing, one comment becomes a client.
Mm.
So imagine $1,000 every post. What am I going to say? Or it's going to lead to something else, or something else, or something else. It's like a lily pad. You start here, and then the frog jumps to the next lily pad, and then the next, and the next, and the next. I'll give you an example. So I put a post up. I think it was about my TED Talk on my book TED Talk, I think, because that was towards the end of the year. So I
Mm.
wrote something about I was gave a TED Talk, which is one of my biggest dreams. I was rejected 9 times, 9 times, okay, to
Wow.
the point that I cried because one of the organizers said that it was a marketing tactic on my
Mm-hmm.
part. So I just cried. So I shared, what I did about my TED Talk. And then from there, it led to me being invited to become a speaker at a summit. From there, it led me and the organizer, one of the organizers, to have a collaboration on a project. From there, she introduced me to her co-authors in her book project, which I gave a training. From there, it led me to getting clients from those people there. from there, it led me to working with a publisher. And then from there is a TV show, so many other things
Mm-hmm.
trickle things in. And like, if anything, please make it count when you post on social media, and stop posting all those like silly memes on social media. I can't stand it. So what is that like? What is the
It's not
always
doing anything.
happening? Exactly, the silly memes, or posting things that you think are funny but not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the things I do is that I review my clients' social media when I run through, and also because I get people want to add me as friends now. I run through their social media, and instantly I can tell, no, it's not,
Mm.
because God knows the things they wrote in there. No, I don't want
Yeah.
to have those people in as my network. So please make it count. Remember, $1,000 per post. If I can make $1,000 per post, what am I going to write? Make
Mm.
it count, make it big, make it intentional, make it powerful, make it being of service to others. Because people, they feel you, right? They can
Yeah.
smell things that are fishy. So make it count from your heart, make it intentional, make it about being of service, and then just let it go and be open to opportunities that come up. This interview today is a really good example. I posted a post about magazine being in the front cover of Short Collars magazine, and a
Mm-hmm.
few other things. And then Brother Jeanette was like, "Okay, we wanna have a chat. I wanna interview." I'm like, "Absolutely, give me the link." And then click, click, click. Within a few minutes, it was done. So $1,000 per post. And then you start to see, when you do it over and over and over and over again. My Tuesday is always dedicated to my TED Talk. So
Mm.
Tuesday TED is always about my TED Talk. Wednesday is about something else, but very specific. So it's always intentional. That's why my TED Talk now is being viewed almost 40,000 times. So it
Wow.
works.
Amazing.
And the opportunity that comes with it, you wouldn't believe, like, people want to collaborate with me, or want to become my clients. I've already done the work of nurturing them. As an entrepreneur, the
Mm.
number one thing that businesses fail, I don't care because of economy or anything, the number one thing why businesses fail is because they're not making enough sales. So you got to be really smart in how you're
Yeah.
going to use your resources to make the sale. And then the other part is that when you have your profile picture, your picture or picture that you put on Facebook, or your profile picture, oh my God, please make it like a good picture. No blurry or anything. I just like cringe when people ask to become my friends, but I can't see their faces.
Yeah.
Or it's, they post pictures of food, of animals, of flowers, but I can't see them.
Yeah.
People by people. So if you haven't already invested in a branding photographer, do so, because you're going to need it for either for social media or for your PR or magazine, whatever it is. Do so. And because it counts, the difference statistically between selfie and professionally taken photos is
Yeah.
tremendous in terms of conversion. So, like, I'll give an example, and you want to have these things ready, because when opportunity comes, it's not going to wait, brother. It's not
No.
going to, like, hang on a minute, hang
Let
on,
me go.
I just need to do this. I'll give you an example. When I gave
Mm-hmm.
birth to my baby, uh, so I sent an email to Oprah's publisher,
Mm-hmm.
not to pitch or anything, but just an email, right? And then she came back and it's like, "Where did you come from? I've checked you out because I've built the fundamentals. I've
Yeah.
checked you out. I
Mm-hmm.
need you to call me right now. This is my private number." When Oprah's publisher tell you to call them,
Yeah.
you call
You
them.
call them.
Right? You call them. And then when we had a conversation, she was like, "Oh my God, I really love what you do. I want you to be in this book project with Oprah." I'm
Mm.
like, "Send me the contract and I shall review it." But in my mind, I'm like, "Oh my God, I can freaking." And then true enough, she's like, "Okay, You're gonna be in. I need your chapter by a couple of days, and I need your
Mm-hmm.
picture. When Oprah comes, there's no like, she's not going to coach you.
Mm-mm.
Not going to tell you to do things.
No.
She expects you to be ready. So I want people to be ready with having their pictures, having being able to write, whether it's a book, a magazine, or blog, whatever it is. Because when Oprah comes, she's not going to give you 30 days. She
No.
gave me like 2 days, and I just had a baby. I'm like, don't worry, Pat, don't worry. I'll get it. I'll take care of it. Because by then I've written books and magazines and articles. So I didn't know that was my preparation. I
Mm.
just, it's just one of the things of my dream.
Yep.
But I want people to be ready. That's one of the biggest things that mistakes that entrepreneurs make. They don't have their picture. And they're like, you need to send me this picture, a picture. I'm like, don't worry, I've got all the pictures ready that is like professionally taken. So I send it over, the chapter written and everything. So post on social media with very strong intention of being of service and also make it simple as if you were on the front cover of Forbes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if it's $1,000, what you're gonna say. Always be prepared. Even if you're not yet on Forbes or any magazine or interviews, be prepared because when it comes, it comes. Just like Brother Junaid here. Okay, I need to have this, I need to have a website, I need to have your picture. Don't worry, it's taken care of. I've got
Mm-hmm.
everything ready. And he would know it's quality picture because it's not a picture that a selfie. There's a difference, right, brother? When you see
Yes.
when people send you pictures
You could
professionally
tell.
taken versus a selfie. So I treat this interview as if I'm on Oprah or I'm
Mm-hmm.
Forbes. Like it's all quality
Yeah.
work because that's my standards. I'm about being the best. So as the best, all those details count. So make sure you're
That's
ready for
it.
it. So that's my tips and hacks. I know it's longer. Like I said, I told Brother
No,
Junior, I
those are
can talk the
beautiful.
whole day and the whole night. We would be here. So I hope that was helpful.
No, Dr. Izdihar Jamil, that was really powerful, especially the first one. Treat your own post as if you're spending $1,000 on it, right?
Yes,
Or gonna make $1,000 from it. Because
correct.
when you have that intention, like, okay, I wouldn't put, I wouldn't pay $1,000 to put this in front of people. So why would you put it at all? And I
Yes.
find doing this myself, I was like, I'll post a little text of like, that's so funny. And then I was like,
The man thing.
a meme or like a text, like I'm a dad, right? So I'm always
Yeah.
saying dad jokes. And I'm like for example, this one came to me and you tell me if it's funny or not. And I told my wife, like, a fart is the oldest form of push notification. It's funny, but it doesn't need to be on my Facebook. So I was like,
Correct.
I left it on there for maybe an hour, has some laugh comments, and then I was like, private. Only me can see it. So
Yeah.
that you have the ability to archive the stuff that's not gonna make you look professional.
Mhm.
That's not in your wheelhouse of what you're trying to teach people. So I will censor myself because I want to be presented as somebody who knows a thing or two and serious about my own image. So thank you so much. That was really powerful. And then
You're
the other two
welcome.
was amazing. Being prepared, absolutely. And you were putting in the work, right? I tell everybody, you gotta prepare, you gotta exercise, you gotta show up on camera, you gotta practice all of that because yes, you can go buy $250 running shoes, but
Hmm.
can you run a marathon the next day? Not at all. You have
No.
to put in the work, and you did that. It shows.
Yes. I call it like the call in formula, even
Mm,
though I haven't been there yet, but I can call it in any
yeah.
moment, anytime. And speaking about the dad joke, you're more than welcome to share your personality because that's a
Hmm.
part of you as well. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, my son had a hockey game.
Hmm.
And then he played hockey and then he scored a goal. And then when he came, he was like, why did people go crazy when I scored a goal? And my husband was like, oh, that's your mom. Like, I went like, I would just like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
my son. She's the
Yeah.
best one. Listen to mama kind of
Yeah.
thing, right? So like everybody would know. But that's a part of me that it's
Hmm.
not so much businessy. Like my formula is 2 out of 3. So 2 out of 3 is businessy because
Hmm.
that's, you know, business, right? Client
Yeah.
attraction. And then one out
Hmm.
of 3 is about my kids. I food. I love food. It's about
Hmm.
me, going to places. So that's
Yeah.
something silly, something that people can connect me with.
Yes.
So it's like it's rich
You're more, yeah,
that we
you're
have
more
this
well-rounded.
conversation.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it's a rich conversation that people
Hmm.
can see a part of me. And some people are scared to put on social media, but
Yeah.
then again, who is in control? Either you're in control or social media controls. It's the same like
Right.
money. Are
Mm.
you in control of money or does money control you? Social media is
Yeah.
just a tool, it doesn't do anything. But if you let go of your power, then it's going to consume you. So go
Yes.
in with an intention, right? Go in, go out, do this, and then you come out because
Yeah.
it can be mentally exhausting to hang out on social media.
Yes.
I don't know how
Yes.
people who I don't know if you've interviewed people
Hmm.
who just takes care of other people's social media, but I would like their brain probably be fried by the end of it, wouldn't it? So kudos
Well,
to those people.
it's a great skill to have, just posting, because as creators, you and I, we're both creators, right? We're
Hmm.
writing books, we're doing podcasts, we're talking, we're getting our word out. When you're a creator, it becomes very hard to become a consumer,
Hmm.
right? So we'll consume only the content that's valuable to us because our time is so valuable, right? That's why we
Hmm.
have a team to do all the
Yes.
editing, to do all the other work, because we're not only providing for them, we're also valuing our time, and time is something that we don't get back, right? People say
Correct.
time equals money. I'm like, no, 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 no. Time does not equal money, because money you can make back. Time,
Hmm.
this moment that has passed now, it's not coming back ever.
Hmm.
No time machine can bring
Correct.
back. So thank you so much for sharing.
My
I
pleasure.
absolutely love the conversation. This is so fulfilling. I totally love it, and I'm sure that you as well enjoyed this.
Thank you. It's been my absolute pleasure. And I had a lot of fun in this conversation as well. And it's always such a rewarding when you feel a connection with the host, when you feel the connection with the audience,
Yeah.
and you feel that, you know what? I've done my job for today.
Hmm.
I've done like if I don't do anything else, I've done my job for today. But a work of a mom never stops, right? That's
It
other
never
things,
stops.
an
No way.
entrepreneur
No way, no
as
how. You
well.
got to go.
But it's just one of those things that I feel so fulfilled, and I just wanted to thank you for the honor and the blessing of giving me the space and the platform and the voice to share. And I pray that from this, I can touch people's hearts, and I'll be so grateful if I can take care of one person.
Absolutely. So before we let you go, we have 6 quick questions to ask
Go
the
for
host.
it.
All right. So we're going to jump right into it. What is the one hobby that you wish you got into?
Gardening. I
Ooh, I
can't
love that.
garden. Everything dies around me. I just had this unicorn thing with a
Uh huh.
little cactus plant. I've been told
Yeah.
it's low maintenance once a week. So
Mm-hmm.
we shall see after
If
one
it
week what
arrives.
happens to this plant. So gardening.
Awesome. What did you want to be when you were a child?
A singer. I always feel I'm Christina Aguilera, but I can't sing that well.
Sure, you'll get there one day. What is your favorite movie or TV show? And if none, how about a book?
My favorite TV show, my husband always laugh at me, is Princess Diary. Secretly, I
Princess
want to be
Diary.
a princess. So I like, the princess and the crown, the prince and the castle. So Princess Diary. Princess Diary
Nice.
1, because the
The
other
first
2 and
one. The
3 are
other two was
just,
like, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So it's always the number 1.
It's always the first one. All right, perfect. Next question. What movie would you choose if you got to play a character in it?
Star Wars, because I think
Oh.
it's the coolest. Because I grew up watching Star Wars, the classics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it is the best, and I want to be the one that, like like kind of chewy, where people get scared of him. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm like the man here. So Star Wars.
I love that. Next one. Who is your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero. Oh, that's a tough one. would it be like we Superman? I know it's like, but it's something that I grow up with saving the
Mm-hmm.
world. And
Yeah.
one side of him is so shy, is so scared, and so humble. And then the other side of him is always the one that put himself in front of danger to
Yeah.
save others. Superman, and it's always gonna be a Dean Cain for Superman.
Dean Cain Superman. All right.
Yes.
I love that. Beautiful. Last question. If you were a board game, what would it be?
Jenga, because I love. I think it's a board game, right? When you
It's
stack.
I mean it's a tower game, but we can
Well,
call it.
board game like that one with Rich Dad, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad's Poor
Oh,
Dad.
the cash flow
Cash
quadrant.
flow, that's right. Cash flow.
Oh,
Because I'm
yes.
like, I want to get off this rat race. I want to get out of this rat race. And I'm like, I can't get out. I can't get out until
Yeah.
someone showed it to me. So it drives me mad. And now, like, we're teaching our kids on cash flow and monopoly,
Mhm.
buying houses, real estate and stuff. So it's always fun.
Oh my God, I love that. Dr. Izdihar, where can my audience find you?
So you can check me out on my website, www.izdiharjamil.com, izdiharjamil.com, or you can check me out on social media at I am Dr. Izdihar Jamil. So I am Dr. Izdihar Jamil.
Awesome. I love it. We'll be sure to include the links in the show notes. And thank you so much for your time. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the episode. Thanks so much for listening to our guest on this episode. Please send me an email at junaid@hacksandhobbies.com to tell me what you loved about our guest today. You could find links mentioned in this episode on the hacksandhobbies.com website.